Bob McAlpine, and that was a snippet of my solo arrangement for solo guitar of Stevie Wonder's Living for the City. One of the things that I've always found, one of my favorite things about arranging for solo guitar has always been the approach of playing two guitar parts at the same time, usually a bass line and a melody, or bass line and a chord pattern. It's not easy, and it's certainly something that doesn't feel natural all the time on guitar, but it can be done with practice. One of the ways I like to explain this is, if you were playing a bass line and a melody on the piano, you would be playing the bass line with your left hand and the melody with your right hand. So for your brain, the dividing line is right between your two hands. And on guitar, it's not quite that simple. I like to think of it as now that dividing line has moved to your right hand, and it's between your thumb and your fingers. The thumb is going to be triggering all of the bass lines, and the fingers on your right hand are going to be playing the chords and the melody. So you can understand how that's not quite as natural a thing to do, and to make it even a little more complex, the left hand becomes a wild card, because basically any fingers on your left hand can be playing bass notes or melody and combinations of those at the same time. So you can understand how that's not as natural a thing for your brain and your hands to be doing. So let's take a look at an example. If you were to play this bass line on the piano, okay, that's instantly recognizable in 2 bars as Ricky Don't Lose That Number. You would play that with your left hand on the piano, and then you would bring in the melody part, which is the acoustic guitar, playing a little melody in thirds that goes like this. So you've got 2 distinct parts with 2 distinct rhythms. And when you put them together, you get what I call a composite rhythm. And once you've learned that composite rhythm and worked with it, you can put those 2 parts together at the same time on guitar. Now one guitar sounds like 2 guitars, 2 different parts making a composite rhythm at the same time. So today we're going to take a look at Living for the City by Stevie Wonder, and the reason I like to start with this song is because the bass line in this song is strictly consistent quarter notes throughout the entire piece. So it kind of acts like a metronome, and it sets up a nice little groove to play with, and then there's going to be melody and chord patterns that are going to be on some offbeat patterns with 8th notes and a couple of 16th notes. And I think it's a good place to start to give you a feel for what it's like to play 2 guitar parts at the same time on one guitar. Okay, so if you're set, let's get ready and start the lesson.